Hi, welcome to Everyday People. We have here with us Danielle Banier, baker extraordinaire. So Peter, can you start off with the first question for Ms. Danielle?
All right, because apparently I've heard so much about your cakes, and she says they're so good you don't want to cut them. So my question is, what made you get started to have your own business?
I started by baking for the kids, my daughter's school, and everybody there just kept on saying every week for like a year to bring something in, and then after that I just expanded and it went outside of the school and further into work and etc. So.
But hold on, can we expand on that? So you didn't even expect to do this. It was just something that you did
A hobby, just my hobby.
and you never been to school for this or anything like that.
No.
And you just brought them to random parties at your daughter's
yes,
school.
exactly,
Okay. And
exactly.
people were just like, oh my God.
They loved it. And I tried something different every week, and it just expanded from there.
And when they told you how much they loved it, what was your reaction like at the first time?
Like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
And then I brought it, of course, to my friends and family, and I knew they would rave, so then I had them expand out further past that, and since everybody else liked it, I just continued.
And then you just decided from there, I just got to do this. It has to be a business.
Yeah, it's got to be something. Something had to be done.
Right. So, but let me ask you, what made you stretch it to the level that you're at now? Because again, I think your cakes are pure art. Like I know you baked the cake for my daughter. It was a castle for her. I don't remember which birthday it was. It was her third birthday. And I just did not want to cut the cake. I mean, when I say beautiful, it was artwork. All your cakes are artwork. What made you go out? I mean, deeper into just baking regular cakes and.
It's just basically something. It's a learning process for me. Every time I did a different cake, it was something different, and I pushed myself, and I said, even if I thought it was harder, I still attempted to do it.
Can we expand on that a little bit more? Because it's just like, that's so awesome, because if I make cupcakes, Betty Crocker, you understand what I'm saying, in a box, you understand what I'm saying? And I get the sprinkles and all that stuff, but even because she's going to show the pictures, if you look at it, it's like, how did you know how to sculpt it and put the eyes here? And then, I know people, when you're dealing with them at random, they'll go, oh, I want a rainbow princess and a something crazy. And how did you,
I basically did it off of what I liked.
Yeah.
I mean, I took their opinions, but I went with what I liked.
Right,
and
okay.
what I thought would look better, and what I thought that majority of the kids would like, because half the time that's what it's for kids, so, and to see their faces.
Okay.
That's what makes it worth it.
Wow.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Right.
What was your most significant accomplishment as far as cake? Like,
Cake-wise?
Which cake?
Where you
My
saw it.
huge
Yeah.
jack-o'-lantern.
I remember that one. Go ahead.
It was a pumpkin,
Okay.
a 3D pumpkin.
Okay.
And the staff actually brought it to Hugh Jackman, and he wouldn't accept it unless he met me.
What's that?
The staff at the Broadhurst
Okay.
for, what was it,
Hugh Jackman's one-man show.
Show,
Yeah, on
yes,
Broadway, yeah.
Okay.
yes, and he wouldn't accept it until he met me, even though I hid, because I didn't want, it was an embarrassment, but it was something that I'll never forget, so it was good.
And what did he tell you when you met him? Come on.
He said, oh, I'm not cutting this, I'm going to let my kids cut this, and then the next day he brought back the stuff, the utensils that I sent with it, and he's like, my kids loved it, oh my God, it's gone. And I'm like, oh, okay.
And how did you feel when he told you
Oh,
that?
it was amazing, it was amazing. It was then right from then and there, that was like my first biggest thing. That's
So
when I took
if
it
you
forward.
guys didn't catch that, if you want to know if you have a good business, you just get Hugh Jackman. You get the signed seal of approval of Hugh Jackman. I mean but that's awesome,
Yeah.
because that could have went bad.
Yeah,
That
in-
could have
in
went
so
bad.
many ways.
In so many
Yes,
ways, so I can understand
exactly.
why you, like your face, like
Yeah.
you gave it to Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I tried to give it as a staff present.
Right.
But he wanted to know who made it, so, I mean, it was,
And then right
It was
from
something
there,
special,
right
yeah.
from there, you were just like, okay,
Mhm.
I have something.
exactly.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, listen, let's take a break. Let's go to some videos, some photos of Danielle's
yes.
beautiful cakes. You really need to see the artwork.
Okay.
All right? We'll be back. Hi, welcome to Enough Already. This segment is about people posting their every single second of the day activities on Facebook. We've had enough already.
Enough already. Unless you have a business or you're trying to build something that's really of value, I don't need to know that you took the dog for a walk yesterday afternoon at 4:25. I don't need to know that your mother dropped off dinner at 4:27. I don't need to know that you're going to the daycare to pick up your daughter at 4:29.
Because you're supposed to.
I'm just saying, like, it's all right to just share one thing maybe every hour, one thing every day. We just don't need it. We just don't. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
So on the other side of it, but maybe, you know, for those that don't have a voice, maybe they're just doing that to, you know, get it as a way of keeping a log of what's going on, because such things as walking the dog, I think that's a cool activity to do. Like if you're picking up your child, so much happening, but maybe what they're trying to say is when you over-exaggerate on it. So, for example, if you're picking up your child and you go, oh, I had to pick up my child, but just had to punch the teacher in her face because she was doing too much, so much happening, I hate this motherfucking school, da-da-da-da. That's where the whole, and the bell rings, that's where the whole enough already jumps in. Because it's just the over-exaggeration of it. You know what I'm saying? It's taking it too far. Like, you know, yes, be informed, and that's cute that you're telling me that, but sometimes you just push it a little bit too further. I dig that. Yes.
Right, and I mean, and my thing is, like you said, 7:45. Don't tell me you taking a shower at 7:46. You turned the water off 7:47. I'm drying my ass 7:48. I stepped out of the tub. If it's that serious,
So how do you do that with a phone?
wait, no. But if it's that serious, get a reality show.
Yeah. Like that's real
Something.
talk. That's real talk. Because like I want to know how you can wash your ass and text anyway about you taking the shower.
It happens.
You know?
It happens.
But this is sad because I think when you're so into this Facebook world, you're missing the whole world around you now.
Yeah.
You know, because you're so busy trying to show everybody what you're doing. But honey, you really not doing nothing. The world is going on around you and everybody else is doing shit. And you're sitting here at your computer or you're on your phone and all you know is just like, oh, I gotta get on Facebook. But yeah, I'm tired of seeing everybody post like my sister was saying the other day. I mean, what, you never had an expensive bag? What, a boyfriend never took you out to eat? You know what I'm saying? Like, what,
But
you
it
never
could
had
be
a nice
true.
pair of shoes?
But that could be true with the generation this day. It could be that.
That is true.
You know,
That could be
when
true.
When you go from
That could be true.
stop going from McDonald's
That
for
could
the
be
first
true.
time, you know, he took you another place other than IHOP.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, that means you're moving up.
Okay, but wait. But hold up. But I was sent on Facebook. Diddy had posted a picture of a styrofoam, you know, the little square styrofoam box that you get from like the
That's a
Chinese
low.
restaurant, right?
Yeah, that we're not even
And
supposed to use anymore.
Inside on one side, inside on the other side were like French fries and some kind of other fried piece of something with a candle sticking inside both of them. And he said, if someone called you over and said, come have dinner with me, and when you got there and this is what you saw, what would you do?
I would leave.
Yeah, basically.
I'm sorry.
Because you know what? See, that's another stupid ass way of trying to be cheap. To not really show a person you even really appreciate them. And don't you think a girl really deserves something? I mean, like the girls today, they don't think that they deserve anything. So this is why the boys can feed you a styrofoam empty goddamn container with 2 goddamn candles in it. Because only you would buy that. You can't sell that to me. I don't buy what falls off the truck. You know? Shit. Making me mad. No, right? Peter?
I have a good
That
one
shit, Peter,
with,
you do.
With enough already, because there was one incident that happened and I saw it on the news and it's just like, wow, like it's literally like Big Brother now has a big sister, like an ignorant big sister, because they're telling everything. They're just telling everything in the news, and it was just something I never paid attention to, but it was just insane. What happened was there was this hair store, and he sold expensive hair, so Indian hair, real good stuff, fresh out the temple,
Yeah.
no synthetic, it's the real stuff, and he called it a hair boutique. It was in Houston, and basically. It was kind of sick when you thought about it. When you walked in, all it was hair on hangers. No, really, hair on hangers. And
That's how they do.
That's how they do it.
That's how they do it.
Upscale. He said, because there's a demographic for this. There are girls that want that nice hair. They want it layered. So he has the hair boutique, and he has two people usually working the boutique at the time, but one guy was on break. So it was one girl. Looked just like you. She was so nice, and they were two girls that walked in the boutique, and they were like, "Hey, we want to buy some hair, and we're looking for this red, like Indian hair." She goes, "Oh, we don't have that, but I could put an order in for it. Let me go check in the back." She went in the back. 6 other girls walked in the store out of nowhere, and it was smooth. They went,
Of course.
like took the hangers, took the stuff off the hangers, and walked out. Walked out with the hair, and that's just the first part. The second part is when they got back. Remember, I said it was an upscale hair store. So, literally, they did an inventory of how much hair they took. They took almost $4,500 worth of merchandise. So that's anything over $250 is considered what? Grand larceny. Grand larceny. So this is where the enough already comes in.
Right.
They posted pictures of themselves with the hair on Instagram.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, and it was and it's
thank
like
you.
it's a hair boutique in the neighborhood, so the neighbors were all happy to have something nice.
Catch me.
Yeah,
I
right,
stole
right.
somebody's hair out the store, and I'm wearing it.
Right, they were like, get it, I got the discount, and they were literally like with their friends, like doing like this, come by it, and then the neighborhoods told on them, they were like, hey,
You can't do
these
that.
girls are the ones that took the hair because we never have anything nice in our neighborhood, and this guy. He could have put this in another part of Houston near the gallery or anything else.
Anywhere. Because
So-
Houston is about money. And if he put that hair store someplace, he may have put it someplace a little hoodish.
Right,
But
it
guess
was a
what?
little hood.
Chicks in the hood too want nice hair.
They want nice hair, right?
But now, for them to go ahead and do that, enough already, goddammit.
Right.
Enough already.
Right,
it
but
wasn't-
it's the posting.
It was the posting,
It's,
and it wasn't girls that you would consider like common thieves. They looked
Right.
regular
Yeah.
females.
Right.
And it was sad because, like, when they caught them, they already caught 2 of them. There was 6 of them in the group, but they were on camera. They caught 2 of them already, and one of them was headed to college.
Yeah, but listen.
And now you're not going because
Now
you
you're
have
not
a felony
going. Now
charge.
you
She
have a
was going on
felony.
a scholarship. She was going to college on a scholarship, and they snatch a felony charge.
yeah,
You're,
right.
you lose it.
you know what I'm saying? And if they to tell, what you gonna do? You gonna sing like a canary to get a deal and snitch on the other 4? And
Well, of course she is, because she's still trying to go to college.
That's
You know?
that when I saw that in the news, that was just that's a demographic I don't think about. I don't think about hair like that, but now you have to think about that.
Right.
Like literally, whatever you're wearing is considered a value. You know what I'm saying? It could get stolen at any time,
Right.
and on top of that, you'll be dumb enough to throw it on Instagram, to put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or Facebook.
Or
Right.
Facebook.
Or Twitter, because they go hard.
Right,
They go hard. All
And I
you
was-
gotta, if somebody does a crime nowadays,
Yes.
Yeah.
all you gotta do is look on flipping Facebook.
Right.
I just seen somebody I know get their ass whipped the other day on Facebook. And I'm sitting here going, really?
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah.
And you post that on your fucking page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough already.
Right.
All
But
right.
hashtag I got my ass whooped, but
It was on Instagram, Facebook.
Or hashtag I beat that bitch's ass. And now it's on my page, so I hope the police don't come.
And the police is
For you.
saying, hashtag, we got you.
Yeah.
we got you. We're on the way.
Already.
We're on
All
the
right.
way.
Thank you for joining us, and we will see you
Next
when we
time.
see you.
Hashtag watch the show.
Yes,
the
watch
the show.
All right. Welcome to Watch the Show. This segment of Watch the Show is called Bohiga. What does that mean? Bend over Here it comes again.
again.
Yes, strap hangers.
Yes.
Bend over, here it comes again. You're about to get up the ass. All right. MTA releases plan for fare increases again.
Why? Why?
Yeah, why?
Because the trains aren't any cleaner. Nothing, honestly. The only thing I can really say we've benefited from the raise before was being able to see the time when the train is coming. And I'm happy for that because
Right.
I would be on a platform for half an hour before a train would even come. So I'm happy. But why otherwise than that? I'm not sure.
Right, and the service sucks. You know, I work at a well-known hospital. I have to be to work at 7 o'clock. Service on the 6th line at 6 in the morning sucks. And then on top of that, the 6th train, you will not wait. Conductor, please, come on now. I'm running late. Other people are running late. You wait for the train to pull in the station. We get in the station, and you close your doors? Really?
After I'm sure you've already waited at the platform for at least a good 2 minutes before the train even pulled in. Because a lot of times they do that. So, yeah. Get the service better. Get the service
Right.
better.
And the trains are filthy. We need to, I don't know what happened with your train cleaners. You used to have train cleaners, and I remember the tests that they used to have, and, you know.
Well, the process changed. It's no longer a test because they conjoined in with the welfare, and a lot of people that are on welfare can now do the train cleaning and stuff like that. And I'm not saying people on welfare are associated with that, but it's like when Giuliani, back when he was first mayor, he had this initiative of arresting people instantly who would come up to your car and do the windshield cleaning.
Right.
But as soon as he did that, all of a sudden petty theft went down because the people that were doing the windshield cleaning were the people that were doing the petty theft.
Yes, right.
So with what you were saying is, just like with the Bohica, here it comes again, it shows what we were talking about before with the standard going down. You said there used to be a test. You used to show that you were competent. You used to have to
Right.
show that there were certain things, you know, and there was a criteria for this job. So now that criteria is somewhat gone, and now they're going, okay, we'll just give it to this group of people. Not saying that all of them are like that, but the majority speaks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You were affected by it because now little things such as, you know, like for example, this morning I was taking the one, walking in on the train, and you know the train was empty, you know, but I walked in and I put my foot down and the floor was wet, but I know that like the difference between liquids, and that was someone's spit on the floor. It was like spit on the floor, and I looked down and when I know my shoe was in spit, you know that feeling.
Right,
So it was
right.
just like, okay, so let me get up and go to the. You know what I'm saying? Let me go to. And this was a supposed clean car. There was plenty of seats,
Right.
but I wanted a seat by the corner, you know, just in case I wanted a nap. And you know, but it's just like with what you just said. That standard is gone because the criteria has changed. So now that they changed the criteria, now those little things is affecting the service, you know.
Right.
But then they want to raise the hikes and even read some of the things that people were saying to that effect, because there was one girl that said something that was just off the. Read it on the paper. There was one girl that said something that was just off the wall, where she was like, "Oh, what did she say? The trains, the cost of the living went up."
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah, she said she was fine with the fare going up. She said cost of living goes up, so, well, my salary is not going up, so
Right.
I can't, I'm not feeling that at all. You know, also.
She said the cost of living should go up, so the train fare should go up.
Right.
But you're saying the third thing. Okay, the cost of living is up, the train fare should go up, but then the salary should go up.
Right.
And that's why people are in an uproar, because
Right.
the way it used to be was, okay, if we're changing this, how does it affect this?
Right.
And if
Right.
we're doing that, how does it affect that? But now people are just shooting in the
whatever.
dark and doing whatever
Right.
the hell they want to do.
Right.
Don't care who they affect in it.
Right, and like the another person that they interviewed said, you know, it's people that don't really have money that are riding the train.
Right.
You know, but you know what I think? If transit needs a competition. If transit had a competition, they wouldn't raise the fare. They wouldn't raise the fare as frequently as they're doing. So we need private buses, we need some vans, something. We need someone because they need competition. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And not to be the devil's advocate, but to run it on the opposing side, you know, there are some places that are just devastated. It's like you might as well be in Africa. Because we could talk about Newark, New Jersey. Because I was there visiting my sister, and she'll even come on here and tell you this. And I was always wondering why she was always in a rush to get home. Because I'm a New Yorker. That I don't have to be on the schedule. You know, if I miss this train, I have that train. And she was like, no, I have to be home by 11. I was like, what are you talking about? I could get. It may take me another 30 minutes, but I'll get home. You know, I visited her in Newark, and the bus was supposed to be there at 11:30. And I got there at like 11:20, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, okay, so this bus will come, you know, sitting there. And it was cold outside, you know, the ice was on the ground and all stuff. It was really cold, and I was like, okay, well, this bus will come. Soon the people started coming in, and you know, when you start seeing people, you go, okay, so, it's coming, it's cool. Right. Then all of a sudden, it gave it about another 30 minutes, and I'm like, is the bus coming? And they said, you know, maybe. Come to find out, the bus didn't even come. I waited there for about an hour. And I kid you not, there was a guy that walked in. I'll never forget this. He walked and came to me and he said, oh, a bus isn't coming. I was like, well, how do you know? And keep in mind, before he got there were people leaving on cabs going, you know, we're going to do here, go there. And, you know, I'm not from there, so I'm like, well, maybe something happened. He said, no, I have the number to the bus depot. Because he'd been living there for years and he's dealt with this all his life. He said, you know, sometimes the bus just doesn't come, and I work on the other side of town. I have to walk home. He said, this is my halfway mark. He said, I walk. Yeah. He said, I can't afford it. I can't afford a cab and stuff like that. I walk home, and that just made me like grateful for MTA. Like, even though they are a hot mess and all that stuff like that, someone is accountable.
Yeah.
And there is a train or something like that. The worst I've ever seen MTA was even Hurricane Sandy, but even for that, you had a train to get you home. There's loops, and the bus drivers and stuff like that, they have nasty attitudes. They act like they're city plate employees, but they're nasty. It's like, so even with that, but I do believe MTA should change, because it's so funny how they do all these things, but if, like, even with the gentrification of Brooklyn, the G has no problems. The G has no problems. The G will run. You will not have a problem with the G, but it's always areas that feature minorities. That's what I noticed.
Especially the shuttle bus business. Because that's the one thing I cannot stand. Especially, I live by the New Lot station, or close to the New Lot station, and that whole line, we'll be just standing there waiting for one or two buses. That makes no sense. And then when you're asking questions, you're like, oh, well, we're running it from Franklin, so no one here can really tell you. No, get it together. If I'm paying all this money and you're doing all this construction, I need you to get it together. I shouldn't be waiting for a bus for an hour and then have to get on the train, and that's a whole nother hour. That's unfair. That's unfair.
And there's money, and they can't say that there's not money rolling in, because another thing that people don't know is they did a study on the cards, and they were like, well, why is MTA, you always notice it's like 5 cents extra and all this stuff like that, and they say that's a numeric system that they do because in the end, when you use your Metro cards and you do the trips, there's always going to be a quarter left in your card, and people throw the cards away, so that's extra money that they make on top of that. So yes, MTA does run efficiently, but there's that side of where it's, come on, you got to do better.
Wait. But another thing is, what I would like for them to get rid of is the wooden seats. Bedbug City,
Absolutely.
I don't even want to sit down, you know, but the thing, you know, I work 2 jobs. I'm up at 5 o'clock. I have to be to work at 7. Then, you know, then I go to the next job, and, you know, I get off 10:30 at night sometimes, 11 o'clock at night. When I go, and then, you know, you have to wait for the train, let's say 10, 15, 20 minutes, especially in the middle of the night, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like a 20, 22 minutes. I would like to sit down while, you know, for that 20 minutes, that 22 minutes, but not on an bed-bug infested wooden bench. Please get rid of that. I can't. And I mean, but the thing is, it's a bed for derelicts.
Exactly.
That's what it is. The train is a bed for derelict. Get rid of the bums, please. On the, you know, I want to sit down.
To the man, because that's becoming another problem.
It's annoying.
Becoming another problem.
It's annoying.
It's becoming another problem. It's too much entitlement on the upper side and then too much entitlement on the lower side, and it's literally people fighting against each other because it's not fair. And you know, I understand being poor and all this stuff like that, but maybe it's just the way that I was raised. But I do in my personal life, even with us working together, stuff like that. When have you ever said my personal problems have affected you, where you couldn't sell your drinks, where you couldn't do what you were doing, where I couldn't do what I was doing? Even if I was having a bad day, you had to come out of your element and come to me going, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Where you had to come to me, but I didn't affect what you were doing. I made you money. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying with them. Yes, you are poor. Yes, you're dealing with this, but in the same sense, I should not smell you. You understand what I'm saying? I should not smell you. That's how I feel. I should not smell you. Your smell should not make me not want to get in this train and have a seat. Yeah. Where literally I'm going in the train going, oh my God, I want to throw. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not fair. That's not fair to me. It's just like, this is not your home. It's called public transportation. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that New York preys on you in terms of being considerate in terms of other people, because sometimes, you know, you want to be a gentleman, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes I've been at work since 6 o'clock in the morning and I don't feel like giving a woman a seat. Right. I've been at work all day and I'm tired. And then, you know, some people will have the nerve to tell you been at work since 6 o'clock in the morning, on your feet working. Like you said, you get home at 1, a lady will pull you to the side going, can I have that seat? And you ask her why. She goes, oh, I've been shopping all day. How does that compare to what I've been through?
Right.
You understand?
Right.
And then the pushing up on you with other people with the space, with people's personal space, it's just like, and then when you ride into a car and they're all by the door, right? But then when you go, excuse me, and you get to the middle, in the middle, there's a bunch of space.
It's empty.
And you're just like, and they look at you like you're crazy. So it's just the whole experience in general. There needs to be some type of initiative in terms of riding a train properly. They need to get some of these poor people some mental help. They need to get some of these people that are not poor, that are just messed up. They need to get them mental help too. And also, I need to see where the money's going. I need to see what's happening, because it's just, now it's just becoming too much, especially with the shuttle buses, especially with the gentrification and stuff like that, because in the white areas, they do not have this problem. I can guarantee it.
Then also with the machines themselves.
Yes.
I've done lost at least $100 to your machine. And I'm saying that truthfully. I have lost at least, and yes, you tell me mail in something.
Right.
I've mailed it in.
Time consuming.
I have heard nothing back. And I'm just like, There's two cars that I sent in, and one was for $10. The other one was, I think it was like $5 something or something was on it or whatever. I put the money in the machine, and the lady who was at the booth that day is like, well, that machine wasn't working before. I was like, well, it just took my money. Like, I'm not going to stand here and lie to you for $10, miss. Like, I'm trying to get to work. And that's the other problem, too. I know we spoke on it before. But a lot of y'all behind that glass lose the attitude because it's unnecessary, especially here at 42nd Street. Y'all are lucky that some people honestly have not called y'all out of somebody's other name, something. Like, it's unnecessary. People are coming to you for help.
Right.
People are coming to
and
you
you're paid
for help.
that service.
And you are paid for that.
You are paid well.
Paid.
And the work that you used to do, you no longer do.
Right.
Because
there are machines.
Exactly.
There are machines that I never thought about it like that. There are machines that handle it.
Yeah.
And then there's problems on their side too, because now, because of people complaining, you know how you used to have an MTA attendant at certain random stations and stuff like that? Now, because people complain, they go, oh, well, there's an MTA attendant that was asleep. And they caught him the one time that they fell asleep, you know, because they were in a cubicle. This was before phones, before, where you had to occupy your time, where you had to look at something or pray or do something.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
You didn't have YouTube, and literally they were falling asleep and they told on them. And now there's no attendant there, so there's a machine there.
But okay, excuse me, but I'm gonna have to go. Like, my mother, she worked for transit, but like she said, a lot of the people, and even I see, because I work at the hospital, and I know a lot of certain departments too. That's also because if you're mandated and you have to do that overtime because someone called out,
Right.
they're going to fall asleep. So we
Right.
don't know the situation
Right.
on the other side. You understand what
Right,
I'm
but
saying?
in the same sense, if you
that's unreasonable to ask of somebody. You sitting in a cubicle for 16 hours, and I'm telling you, don't fall asleep.
Right.
You sitting in a confined space,
exactly.
and some of them cubicles are not big. Some of them cubicles are just this is all the space you have
Exactly.
right here, and some of them you just standing there looking at a glass wall. That's like solitary confinement.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? And you, but they took a
Yeah.
picture of them and they complained. They complained and said this person was asleep, and now they're not there. And guess what? You got robbed now because
Yes.
the person you could have complained to about that and your machine,
Right.
the machine is messed up,
Right.
and also. Continue with the machine thing. A lot of them strategically plan their system up so that way you don't get your money back. So they make it so tedious so that way, cause see, just with what you just explained, as soon as you said, they said send a letter,
Oh,
Put the little thing in.
please, I am so sorry, but I need to interrupt. Okay, another thing I cannot stand is when you make us late for whatever reason, signal problems here, and and I leave on time, and I get to work 30 minutes late, 45 minutes late.
Right.
Say it again.
Listen, why do I need to go through Africa, then back
New
to
Zealand.
yeah, exactly, to get a letter
For your mistake.
for my job?
For your mistake.
And how long does that take? Listen, and it's at the point where it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to take the hit. Take my
Right.
time. Take my time. Use my time. Take my
Right.
little time. I'm just gonna have to
Right.
take a hit because it's too much. It shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that difficult. It
And,
really shouldn't.
and
It shouldn't be that
to
difficult.
expand on that, I remember an incident that happened, and I mean, and it's if you're running in an area where there's more than one train, there's a way to finagle it. But there's some people like if you're coming from Far Rockaway, if you on the 7 line, and that's the only train you
That's
got, and
the
that
one.
train is done. That's it. Where am I going? What am I going to do? You
Yeah.
catch, and you don't have money for a cab and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One time they had signal problems, and I'll never forget this day. They had signal problems, and I was like, cool, I get to the theater by like 40 minutes, I'm good. They were having signal problems, and you know how you used to move in a certain way? I didn't get to the theater till maybe 2 hours later. It was like devastating. It took us 10, 25 minutes, 30 minutes to stop at a stop. Until finally we were 2 stops away from the main central station, and I knew that was going to take another hour. I was like, oh, I'm getting off the train, and I made an announcement before I left the train. You know I did. I got off the train, I was like, listen, you can either sit here for another hour, or you can do like me, and boom cat and rush to this next, and walk these 10 blocks and run, because you're going to be on this train for another hour waiting for this signal to go. Because it was literally like time stopped. It was like the world was ending. Because people were looking at us, and then you were trying to get answers for questions, and then you...
See, that's that other thing, too.
with
When the
bad
train
advice.
stops, let us know what's going on. Don't wait till like 15 people then ask you.
Right.
Stuck at Borough Hall. When I passed Atlantic about a good 15, 20 minutes before, and we're still sitting at Borough Hall, mind you. But I could have changed my
Yes,
train
Right,
and
right.
my plan.
Right.
Yes.
I could have had that option, but
Proper
no, you didn't
warning.
give it to me because you didn't say anything.
Right.
The speaker system, work on that too. Since we going up in price, work on this speaker system. Because I shouldn't be hearing the next street. No, I want to know what street I'm stopping at.
It's
Especially
true.
especially for tourists. Like I feel bad, and like a lot of times,
And this city is intimidating.
yeah, it's like
It's
they don't want to
intimidating.
ask anybody, but at the same time, it's like,
You
hey,
have to.
are you looking for something in particular? Oh,
Right.
I'm not sure. I couldn't hear what the next stop was. It's either I don't know. I can't even. Let's just get it together, please.
Listen, the tourists, they don't even understand. They don't even understand.
No, but it's true. New York is a melting pot, and just
Yeah,
this is the only place where stuff like this happens,
Yeah.
because it's just New York is half a fantasy, but it's a fantasy that's in real life.
Yeah.
Yes, you are here to see the Broadway shows and stuff like that, but there are people that need to get to work, and
Right,
you're in the
exactly.
way.
Yes,
You are
yes,
in the way, and you're
yes.
trying to ask questions and stuff like that. But I'm trying to
get to work.
I'm trying to get to work. And you trying to ask where the Statue of Liberty is. And it's like, will you get the fuck out of my face? Like, are you kidding me?
I'm late.
Right.
Damn it. I should have
Right.
been to work
Right.
20 minutes ago. Yeah.
Right. Or when you talk to an MTA worker and they're like, I don't know. Well, can you find out?
If
Can
you
get
are
on your
working a particular
walkie-talkie?
booth,
Right.
you need to know that area, that
Right.
locale around
Right.
you. There's no
Yeah.
reason if I'm asking you, hey, can you tell me, do I go right or left in the station? And you're just like, oh, I don't know. You don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Right. So, right. Somebody did that to me the other day. I had a meeting. Like I just told you, I just started another job, and I had to be there by a certain time. And I was like, it says on this thing, and I showed him, I said, it says this, this, and this, and it says take the east side of this corner. And the guy looked at me and smiled. He said, I don't know what that is. And I said, how long have you been? He said, 10 years. And I said, y'all just walked up, because you can't just...
And like I have friends who work for the MTA, and I always tell them, I commend them, because a lot of them do work hard,
Right.
and they do what they're supposed to
Right.
do.
Exactly.
But for the people who, and I'm not saying that a lot of people who have had the tenor for over like 10 years that they're the worst, but at least just still remember that you are still on a job,
Right.
and that you did
But
have
a
to
good
start somewhere.
paying job.
Right? Like, and that
'Cause
people are
we
gonna
know how
come
much
and
you make,
ask
right,
you.
right.
Like, just be courteous. I know everyone is allowed their bad day too, but just be a little bit.
But you
courteous.
are on a good paying
job.
Not a
good
job, but a good paying job. Because there are
With,
people
with benefits.
with benefits.
Benefits.
With
Sorry,
benefits.
with full-time benefits.
Full-time benefits, no. And then there are people that are making, like, even with the fare increase, one of the things that they were saying, I'm $2.50 in fare, but if you're working at some store where they only paying you minimum wage, which is what, $7.75, $8, how is that supposed to work? And then I need an unlimited card. I don't know about anybody else, but
That's your whole check.
I stay with an unlimited Metro card. I need my $30 card, because even if you go okay, I'll spend $2.50 to get there. God bless anybody that does that, because I can't do that. I just I need to be carefree, because as soon as I put myself in a budget, I'm the dumb one that go, okay, I only need $10 because it'll take me $5 to get there, $5 to get there, and I'll get off on the wrong stop.
Right.
And then you have to walk.
And then I have to right.
Then you
Right.
have to walk. All right. Well, so
Be prepared.
again, strap hangers, Bohica.
Bohica.
Bend over.
Be
Here it
prepared.
comes again. See ya.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Joke Time. Alright, so there's this nun, she's taking a bath at the convent, and there's a light knock at the door. She says, "Who is it?" It's a little voice, he says, "It's the blind man." She thinks, "Oh, the blind man. Alright, you can come in." So he enters the room and looks at her and says, "Nice tits, where do you want me to hang the blinds?"